Ridge augmentation is, again, it goes back to where you can place an implant. You want to get enough height and width to place an implant. We can always find bone to place an implant, but it becomes a very difficult prosthetically to restore it, meaning it's very difficult to place a tooth. If we place the implant somewhere where the dentist can't figure out what to do with the crown, it doesn't really help anybody. Great, it's in bone, but then what are you going to do with it? So what ridge augmentation does, and there's different ways to do it. There's fancy terms, onlay grafts, ridge splits, etc., but it's basically different ways to add bone to kind of bulk up the tissue and find a place where you can place the implant in a more functional way. So you don't have to compromise any angulations, any way where it can compromise the ultimate effect, which is what the patient truly cares about, is how it looks and how it functions. Everything underneath it is kind of laying the foundation, but what the ridge augmentation does, and this, again, there's different ways to do it, is it kind of builds up the gums and builds up actually the bone, the bony structure underneath, which in essence builds up everything above it. Once you lose a tooth, what happens to the bone is it generally tends to disappear. You fill it with bone, it's not like you have a hole in there, but it tends to kind of get thinner and shorter. So what ridge augmentation does is it kind of regenerates that area. So when you get the implant in, one, it's in a more functional area, and two, the tooth looks more natural. So you don't really know that you have an implant. So that's the whole point of ridge augmentation, is to kind of bring the bone back to where it used to be before it lost that tooth or before it had any sort of trauma to it.